Coming up on Colonial Sports Center, RMU men's hockey took on Niagara this past weekend. Let's see how they fared.
Well, women's hockey carries an unbeaten streak into the weekend against RIT.
Of course, both basketball teams started off. Women's at Youngstown State, men's at USC, and football season is coming to an end. Only here on Colonial Sports Center. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Logan Carney here, obviously not Greg Sutton, but the much improved host of Colonial Sports Center. And I'm with here my much improved colleague, Sam Anthony. It's a Logan and Sam show.
They give you one show, and you just already hit everyone that was on air before you. This just tells you where the show's going to go. So where are we going, Logan?
Well, we're going to be going, we got football. Like I said earlier, football, both hockeys, both basketballs, volleyball, all of that happened this past weekend. Of course, you got a couple players in the studio. Why don't you tell us about that, Sam?
That's right. I got an interview with Lauren Bailey and Emily Curlette of the women's hockey team right now on a 5-game unbeaten streak. Lauren Bailey's having a great season so far. We're going to talk about how well this team's been playing.
But hold on, let's expedite this process and jump into the football highlights right away as Robert Morris took on Sacred Heart this past weekend. Let's see how they fared against the Pioneers. Colonials, Pioneers, couple historic figures in a game that ended up not being that quite historic as the Pioneers are going to get a lot of rushing touchdowns. You see that first one, Kevin Duke on the keeper, and another one there, 14-0 with just 6 minutes left in the first. Sacred Heart adding another one on the ground. They had 5 touchdowns in this one. All 5 of them, Sam, on the ground.
Robert Morris's defense continuing to struggle this season, actually one of the worst in the nation.
And there's Julius Chestnut on that run. Sorry to cut you off there. He had a big game, 152 yards rushing the freshman. And again, we're going to see some more, but a run there by Jordan Johnson, JJ, with his first TD on the year. Going into the fourth quarter, another big run here by Meacham this time, the senior. He's going to get all the way inside the 20, but the Colonials luckily tag him, and he'll be tackled, and they will kick the field goal, and the final score 38-7.
Fridays of a weekend series have been the best part of the week for RMU men's hockey. The team carried an unbeaten 3-0-1 record into last Friday night's home matchup against the Niagara Purple Eagles. And they hoped that that trend would continue against one of the best defensive teams in the conference. And right off the bat, the Purple Eagles trying to sneak one past Francis Marat off the post, trying to get it back in here, but not quite. Once again, deflecting off the skate of a Purple Eagle defender. And it would be Niagara that actually would strike first here, and that would be the goal by Tanner Loms. But Robert Morris, 19 seconds later, they come right back, and that's Daniel Mantenuto, or Kyle Horseman rather, that in the chaos at the end of the period, gets a stick on it, sends it into the back of the net, tied going into the second period. And now the Niagara Purple Eagles, they struggled in this second period, failing to even record a shot. And Robert Morris would take advantage here. Daniel Mantenuto over the top shoulder of the goaltender, giving themselves a 2-1 lead here. And again, Luke Lynch is going to finish that one off. And that would be all she wrote for the Purple Eagles, falling 3-1 and only registering 13 shots, which was a school record for Robert Morris in shots allowed.
Yes, Sam, and after defeating the Niagara University Purple Eagles on Friday, the team stayed home on Saturday for Game 2 of the doubleheader. Robert Morris is 0-3 on the year in Game 2s, hoping to change that fortune against Niagara. Niagara, similar to the game on Friday, they're going to start off with the first goal, as we see that slap shot by Alex Truscott. We're getting past Marat. Now we're going to head on to the second period. Niagara taking a 2-0 lead with Eric Cooley, assisted by Justin Kendall. Robert Morris, though, they're going to find a way to sneak that one in. Nick Lalonde, who had 2 on the night, that was assisted by Eric Israel and Kip Hoffman. You're going to see another one there before Niagara. 3-1 now. That was Ryan Kov. Alex Truscott again on the assist, as that one just batted in. Robert Morris, they're going to get another one, though, coming up by Lalonde. Again, he had 2 on the night. You saw the pass from Luke Lynch. Eric Israel assisted again, but Niagara will get one more after this one. The final score, 4-2, as they doubled the Colonials, and that is the game. But after the game, Coach Derek Schooley talked about needing more from his veterans. As you can see on the screen in front of you, Luke Lynch, Alex Tonge, and Michael Loria are all down in goals from this point last season. However, if you look at their point total, it really isn't that big of a drop-off as 2, 1, and 3 So, you know, as they started off slow last year, Coach Derek Schooley calling out his veterans, hoping to get them going as they did last year and towards later this season.
Last season, the RMU women's hockey team outscored the RIT Tigers 23-7 en route to a 4-game season series sweep. Robert Morris has won their last 8 matchups and 11 of the past 12 against the Tigers. In their first matchup against the Tigers this season, the Colonials were certainly carrying the momentum with a 3-game unbeaten streak heading up to Rochester. And we're getting a little closed captioning with this highlight, Logan.
Yeah, it's great. In case they're not satisfied with your description of the highlights, we got another one there right below it. So we got double descriptions on this highlight here.
And right off the bat, it was RIT that would score first. Baker Taylor putting that one in, but coming right back with a powerful shot is Kirsten Welch. And she cements herself as the 9th leading scorer of all time in Robert Morris history in terms of goals here. And we're going to watch that one more time from the point, going right past every defender and the goalkeeper into the back of the net. Tied in the second period here, late in the second period, and this time it's going to be Amber Rennie. And she's going to sneak this one behind the net, just past the goaltender. And Robert Morris is going to take the lead here towards the end of the second period, going into the third period. Nothing going for RIT, and it would be JC Gebhardt sending in the empty netter to extend her goal streak to 4 games.
Yeah, so this past weekend they had a 2-game set, as you said before, against Rochester. Actually, it was in Rochester RIT. We're going to go ahead to Game 2 on this series. The Colonials took Game 1 3-1, as you just saw. Colonials and the RIT Tigers, Game 2 on the night. We're going to see a little bit of a penalty there, kind of to stop the momentum. But JC Gebhardt is going to get the first goal in the second period on the night. That would give them a 1-0 lead. Of course, the Colonials needing all the goals that they can, but they've been playing tight defense. But here we're going to see the second period again, as you see the goal by Gebhardt on the highlight as we move on in the game. Of course, a tough performance by them. A goal there. And we're going to get head on to the third period. Angelica Diffendahl is going to, as a fight in front of the net, will find it into the back, and that will make the game 3-0. Actually, that goal was by Maggie Lagou. My apologies, messing up that name there, but 3-0 on that one. Lauren Bailey, though, who's in studio tonight with our own Samuel Anthony, back-to-back CHA goalie of the week against RAT. She played phenomenal. She had 26 saves in that second one, a .977 save percentage overall in the series. And now we're going to send it over to Samuel Anthony, who's with Lauren Bailey and another player. So, Sam, why don't you go ahead and introduce who you're going to be sitting over there for this interview?
You know, Logan, no love for the other player. We got Lauren Bailey and then Emily Curlette with me. 2 very key players to this Robert Morris team, and thank you guys for coming in tonight.
No problem.
Thank you.
So before we get down to talking hockey here, you know, if you're going through Twitter, if you follow them, I noticed a GoFundMe set up by you, but for was Director of Hockey Operations Lean Kavanaugh. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened there?
Okay, so before our flow day, we did like a little follow the leader thing around, just, you know, loosen up. And our the goalie squad kind of fake fought, and then we put him in the penalty box, but Liam's phone was in there playing music. And it kind of got stuck in between the door, and we were trying to close the door shut, and it just smashed the phone in half. So we kind of felt bad, so we started a GoFundMe page.
So I see that it's $50 so far, and it's $25 from you and $10 from the other 2 goalies. So I'm guessing not going as well as you thought it would?
No, it did not go viral.
Well, you know, we'll try and plug for it here. So again, you know, if you want to donate, help the cause
Please.
here. So the GoFundMe's still live, but you know, we like to continue to embarrass Lauren Bailey here, and we actually have a video that you know, Liam also put up on Twitter, and it's of you and I believe one other teammate. And let's roll that tape if we can.
What's up, YouTube?
Yo, we're coming live. Ready? Let's do the song. Let's do the song.
I'll know the whole thing.
Okay. Salt shaker, pepper shaker, salt, pepper, salt. Shake the flakes on the cake. Don't let it bake. Boom.
So I just have to ask, Just, take me through that. Take me through how that happened, why that happened. I'd love to know. I think everyone would love to know.
Yeah, so during practice sometimes, I think to myself in the net and I wanted to make a song up. So I was thinking about salt and pepper and it kind of...
So my question is if you get to that goal in the GoFundMe, can we get like a full song, maybe like a music video?
Yeah, I'm working on another version right now.
All right. Well, we'll keep update to that, see if anything happens. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out for that. But Emily, we're gonna talk about you too. We're not gonna leave you alone over here. So you guys currently right now have the best defense in the CHA, allowing less than 2 goals per game, and that's a credit to both you and Lauren playing so well. So really, what's been working for you guys defensively so far?
I think it's been really important that we work as a group and as a whole to support each other, especially when we're having a rough game or when we're playing a team that tends to sew us into the zone a lot. So I think our biggest strength right now is adjusting to each game, not letting one period turn into 3, and then turning that around and pushing the puck forward for our forwards to make plays.
Yeah, and again, your 1 goal of the season came in a pretty big game against St. Lawrence, a game where it was you and it was Kirsten Welch that had 2 big goals that really kept you guys in the game. What adjustments did you make during a game like that against a team that is consistently in the top 10?
I mean, you definitely have to recognize that they have a dangerous offense, but I think it's also important that we incorporate ourselves defensively, especially how you said that we have a strong D-core. So I think we definitely try and utilize our offensive strengths and get involved in the play as much as we can, while also being solid on the defense, not letting up more than those 2 goals a game that we shoot for.
And Lauren, from a goalie's perspective, what do you like seeing from your defense specifically that's really kind of helped you be so successful this season?
For me, communication is probably key. So when they're coming in, I'll either tell them step up or I got shot, so that that communication helps a lot. Helps the play go a lot better.
Definitely something I've noticed, just watching this team through the years is you guys have pretty good chemistry both on and off the ice. So just, again, you talk about that communication being key. What kind of stuff do you guys do off the ice to kind of just build that relationship, kind of know what each of you kind of wants from each other?
I mean, we do team bonding stuff, and also we'll talk before the game and kind of go over stuff and know our focus for the game.
And I'm really glad you mentioned before the game, Lauren, because we were talking before this, and Emily mentioned that you like to listen to some pretty sad. No, you mentioned you like to listen to some pretty sad music before the game. Can you explain to me why? What kind of music you listen to?
Yeah, so I listen to sad music. Me and also Sarah Caranta, we both listen to sad music. And I don't know, it gets my adrenaline going. I get really sad, but then it pumps me up and I want to go out there and
Now, Emily, did you know before this going in that she listened to this sad music? And I want your thoughts on that too.
You never would have an idea about it. You don't really know what's going on inside the head of your goalies. But definitely, she doesn't show it on the outside. The sadness must turn into some pretty hype feelings, because the first person to create a laugh or get everyone going is her. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'd work for me, but I'm open to new things. So maybe we'll play that on the speaker.
You should try.
Yeah.
Well, hey, big matchup coming up this weekend against number 9 Colgate, but unfortunately it's all the time we have, so thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, don't worry, there's more highlights coming up. Men's basketball, women's basketball both started their seasons. Men's basketball playing in Los Angeles. You're not going to want to go anywhere here on Colonial Sports Center.
Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sam and Logan episode, or Logan and Sam episode, whatever you prefer, of CSC. The volleyball team now hosted St. Francis this past weekend in their Dig Pig match. Coming into the match, they were 1-4 in their last 5. This stretch was making things look even more bleak on a down season. However, it was a new day, and things weren't so bleak in this one as the Colonial was pulled away after a sweep over St. Francis, winning by set scores 25-21, 25-22, and 25-20. Emma Granger led the night with 12 kills in the match, while Taylor Lord almost had a double-double as she finished with 8 kills and 10 digs. Maria Sarajanovic also had a strong night as she finished with 4-4, 4 kills and 4 digs.
Despite losing their leading scorer in Deshaun Burke last season, RMU men's basketball comes into this season returning over 61% of their scoring, rebounding, and assists. Picked to finish 5th in the NEC, the Colonials would open up in the City of Angels against USC. And we start off here with Josh Williams making his debut, and his brother John also on the team with him. Robert Morris, they were hanging in this one early, and you see the nice pass from John Williams, the brother of Josh, to Kobe Thomas, the NEC Player of the Year. And here we go, Logan, right here. Possibly the play of the year right here. Maddie McConnell, whoop, behind the back, and the slam. Kobe Thomas throwing it down.
Now, going back, did you just predict NEC Player of the Year for Kobe Thomas?
Oh, man, you're right. You caught me there. But, hey, with plays like that, you just never know. Going into the second half, Robert Morris only down by 2, 37-35. But here's the thing. They would battle in here, and Josh Williams, again, hitting the 3. He ended with a team-high 20 points. And they would battle in this one. As you see the steal for Kobe Thomas, taking it under the hoop. Another drive, dip, basket in there for. But unfortunately, the Colonials would fall away at the end of this one and lose 83-62 in their very first game of the season.
The women's basketball team also had their very first game of the season on Tuesday as they elected to go against the Youngstown State Penguins. The 2017-2018 NEC co-regular season champs traveled to Youngstown, Ohio to take on the Penguins. We see Megan Callahan here on the 3. Going to pull Robert Morris within 4. Now we're going to move quickly on to the second quarter. It was 22-18, 23-18 now, 26-25. 3-pointer there, and another one. Moving on to the third quarter again. Third quarter, really expediting through this one really pretty quick as we see another 3-point there by the Colonials. It's Sam and Colonial's offense, they relied heavily on that 3-pointer. Again, we're seeing a lot of it here today.
Well, and you got Hinoki Ikamatsu, who was one of the best 3-point shooters in the nation last season. 15 points from her, a team high.
Yes, she had 15 points. All 15 of those points on 5 3-pointers. She went 5 for 9 from the 3-point line. So you see another one there, but it went into overtime, OT overtime, but unfortunately for the Colonials, they couldn't pull away as Youngstown State won 69-59.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to be finding out if we're buying, if we're selling men's and women's basketball. It's the big season up ahead. Still a lot of games left to play. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned, so come back for more on Colonial Sports Center.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Logan Carney here, this time with Luke Yost and Nick Hederick. Thank you guys both for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be on CS.
Well, you guys ready to be buying and selling for this one?
Yes. I bought a lot on this show. I realized that. I think I've been on all but maybe one of the buy
I've never bought or sold, but I'm a big fan of Storage Wars, so we'll see.
We'll see. All right, all right.
Well, it's not quite Storage Wars, but we're going to be buying and selling on basketball this year. Now, you heard Sam bought in on Kobe Thomas a little bit earlier, so do you guys buy or sell Kobe Thomas winning NEC Player of the Year this year?
I'm selling hard on that. I already got my guy. It's Keith Braxton from St. Francis University. He averaged 19 points last year, 9 rebounds, shot 40% from behind the arc. He also made the NEC first team. He's going to be the Player of the Year. That's bottom line.
Now, you threw your hands up there when he said Keith Braxton.
Luke stole my guy. He stole my guy. He stole my pick.
I go first.
For the first time in my 2-year career with Luke Yost, I agree with something he said. And I agree that I think Kobe Thomas might be surprising. I think he's the best playmaker on Robert Morris, but I don't think it's fair to throw him into contention yet for NEC Player of the Year. I think next year very well could be a year where we see him in the very top echelon of NEC players, maybe top 3, very near the top next year. But I think this year he'll still be maybe a big name, but not quite where he needs to be.
Now, moving over to the women's side of things, Hanoko Ikematsu, do you think she leads the team in scoring this year? You buying or selling that statement?
We'll buy it. Why not? We'll buy it. Azebo and Callahan, the only 2 players that return that are ahead of her. But we know Ikematsu, her 3 ball is incredible, 41% from behind the line. That's one of the best in the nation. I think if she can keep that consistency from behind the line, I mean, we saw the other against Youngstown State. She had 15 points all from behind the line. If she can fire at will from behind the arc, she's undoubtedly going to, end up being near the top, but I think she will be at the top.
For me, it was the turnovers. I'm also buying this, but like for the turnovers, she turned over the ball over more than assists. And this is a year where she no longer has to be the facilitator of this offense. She could be a pure shooter like she is. So that's why I'm buying. She's going to lead this team in points by the end of the season.
Speaking of turnovers, though, our next buy or sell topic, do you think the men average less than 10 turnovers this year per game?
I am selling. I am selling hard because I looked it up. For the past 4 years, they've never been under 14 turnovers average on the season. This team is built to score and score in transition, but they also, they give the ball up too many times, I think, in a game.
I don't know what's going on. I agree with Luke again. I don't know. It's opposite day. 4 of their 5 turnover leaders last year are returning this year. And, I mean, they committed 11 against USC, so maybe there is some light at the end of the tunnel there. I mean, USC is probably one of the best teams they'll play all year, and they only committed 11 against them. But, I mean, you have 4 of 5 returning, as I just mentioned. They averaged almost 15 a game last year. They only averaged 11 assists a game last year. I don't think we see them averaging less than 10 a game this year.
How about the women, though? I mean, we mentioned earlier that they tied regular season NEC champs last year. Do you think, buying or selling, that they win it outright this year?
I am buying in because St. Francis is not what they were last year. They lost their 1-2 punch with Ace Harrison leaving. And as great as Jessica Kovac is, we always tell her she's always in the name and player of the week, it seems like, every week for the NEC. But she lost her sidekick, if you will. And this team she can't carry St. Francis all the way. Robert Morris is going to win the NEC conference.
And I agree. I mean, this conference is very top-heavy. Last year, Robert Morris and St. Francis both went 16-2 in conference. The third-place team, Sacred Heart, finished 8-8. And as Luke did mention, St. Francis did lose some key players, so I don't think they'll be as big of an opponent as they would have been last year. Bryant is a team I have my eye on, though. They have returned a few starters. But other than that, I think Robert Morris all around is the best team. As Sam mentioned earlier, they have a lot of their scoring players returning, a lot of rebounding leaders returning. I think they can win it outright this year.
All right, guys, real quick. The men buying or selling, finishing top 4 in conference. Tell me, buy or sell, and give one quick sentence on why.
Buy or sell. They were close last year. They're close the year before, so I'm buying in. This team's better than they were last year.
I'm going to buy the Williams brothers connections there. Kobe Thomas is going to step up this year. I'm buying it all the way.
Well, you know what, guys? I'm going to buy in on you guys being on Around the Rim. If you want to hear more of them talk more about women's basketball, of course, don't forget Toll Shed with myself and a couple other RMU Century Media alums, as we're going to be, or not alums, but students, as we'll be talking about men's basketball. And of course, go to RMU Century Media to find more about that. We're going to send it to a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere, because I hope you're buying in on me and Sam to close out this show, as we're going to be buying in on the upcoming games this week. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a Logan and Sam CSC special. As again, Logan and Sam right up here in the CSC special. But we're going to preview these upcoming games. Why don't we expedite right to those upcoming games? As we'll see Friday, we got volleyball, men's hockey, women's hockey, and men's basketball. Which of those Friday games stands out to you, Sam?
Big time matchup against Penn State for men's hockey. It's kind of a rivalry game since Penn State went from club to the Division I level. Robert Morris would love to get a win in both games this weekend.
Of course, women's hockey also taking on a ranked team in Colgate at 7:05 at home. We're moving on to Sunday's games. As you see Saturday again, real quick, right through them. Rowing, George Washington Invitational. Football, Eastern Kentucky. They'll be traveling there. Women's hockey, Colgate again. Men's hockey, Penn State. Moving on to Sunday, we got one big game. And Sam,
Women's
I'm sure that you're excited.
basketball against LaSalle, the home opener. Definitely something to look forward to, especially if you're a big women's basketball fan.
Well, Sam, it was a great Logan and Sam special episode. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have. Sorry for this coming to an end, but we will see you in a couple of weeks. Goodbye, everyone.